Hello my loves, I'm Ellie Frost. Thank you so much for being on my channel. Please like, share and subscribe because it really helps me get the message out. So if you like this message, please like it, please subscribe to the channel and help me help more people wake up, break the spell of narcissistic abuse, the trauma bonds, plus heal very rapidly. I've got a very unique integrated approach which really does combine leading edge intelligence on the physical, emotional, energetic and spiritual side of things, integrating personal development, healing modalities, lots of different intelligence that's integrated together to give you the breakthrough, right? I want to talk about the narcissistic stare. Let's talk about Satan's stare. I don't know what I can say, but I have to say the truth that I see it as, right? You can take what is useful to you, but this is how I see it. This is my truth, and I'm not very good at not speak. I can't. Look at my voice. I'm not good at anything that isn't my truth. So I'm gonna have to. I knew when I did this is gonna have to be how I see it. If it shocks you and it's too much, then be open. You know, there'll be beautiful things in here that you can take. But this is to me what it is, and so I can't say it any other way. There is this gaze, right? We talked about the narcissistic smirk. It is a fixed frame freeze where they're getting a hit. It's like they're almost ejaculating. It's disgusting on something that's causing you suffering and pain. That's the smirk. It's gross. Now, this gaze, the stare, this gaze, right? It's like a lock. And I'll tell you what's happening there, but it's a confusing one. You'd have seen this, right? They'll fixate on you in a very intense way. When I question my ex-partner on this, because it's inappropriate, he would say to me, well, can't I look at the person I love? But it's not from love. It's like when I look at my animals, or when I'm out in the day, or I go to the beach, you know, when I look at something I love, you can feel it. When you look at something you love, it's like, there's something so wholesome about it. Like we can feel it in each other. We can see it in our eyes, right? There's something very connected about it. This fixated gaze isn't. What's going on? It's like a computer system, right? It's like data analysis. It's mirroring everything about you. It's looking at your emotional responses. It's literally like a computer taking a freeze frame, and that's where they go into this like gaze. And when they say it's because I love you and I'm looking at who I love, it's not. I'm basically extracting data right now to use against you. Yeah, where I can stick my hooks into you more. That's what's going on there. It's very sick. It's very weird. And it certainly has got nothing to do with the kind of way you look at someone. There's something almost humbling. You know, like when you look at someone or something you love, it's almost like, oh my gosh. You know, there's something that takes your breath away. It's something that is like, oh, it's just so, I don't know. It's a different way of connecting. It's a different way of loving, right? So this fixation is like, imagine a scanner machine. It's like, that's what they're doing in the energy realm. They're literally extracting information, which they'll be able to use against you to disarm you, dysregulate your nervous system, and basically rip you apart, which is what these terrible creatures do. If you see it, look, with the tools we're doing here, you're strong. You know, they can't do anything, but a lot of them will steal your identity, which means that they'll mirror you and they'll try, well, in the illusion stages and intermittent love bombing, original love bombing stages, what they're doing is mirroring back to you your values and your identity. They basically strip you of who you are, your authentic self, shell you out so that you're what they need you to be. But a lot of them will try and steal your identity and be you. I've had that, where they try and like, they're trying to merge with your soul, yeah, and extract your life force. And they'll also, a lot of them, project that they are what you are, where that couldn't be further from the truth, yeah? If you have a friend like this, they'll do this to you. If a narcissistic friend, they'll literally try and take your identity. They can't compete where they don't compare. They're nothing like you. They've got they're soul detached. They are nothing like you. They are so jealous of everything you have. They won't do anything to create in their life except for take. They're complete thieves. So like, You know, you'll work hard to do things. They'll never celebrate your success. And you can't have people like that around you. It just limits your growth. When you do something, no matter how small it is, you want people around here. I will do this with you. If no one else in the bubble, you need to tell me anything you've done. Don't judge yourself as whether it's big or small. Sometimes I couldn't go out of the house. I was so anxious. Going out of the house was a great success, and I had to cheerlead myself. So we've got to be great cheerleaders for ourselves and each other, and stop making our success conditional on if we do something that we consider big. Sometimes getting through the day is a great success. Sometimes we need to be our best friend, and we need to have, well, definitely if you've been through abuse, you've got to find cheerleaders. You can't have any more people that are going to drag you down, not even in the slightest. You know how you feel on this planet. Yeah, you don't have to explain it. I'll keep teaching you. It's part of the reason people aren't healing is it's the wrong tool for the wrong root cause in a lot of the industry. And the rest of the industry are not helping people in the way they should. They are intellectualizing things that are emotional, and you can only solve an emotional issue on an emotional level, which means in the level of the body. Emotions must be dealt with emotions. You can't fix them. Secondly, the biggest thing you'll do is what I keep teaching you in my course, Sovereign, and what I'm sharing with you in the channel. If you come into your authenticity, your body and your intuition, you'll know how you feel. Stop trying to fix yourself, especially not at this stage. Personal development comes later. Analysis comes later, when you want to change your behaviors and look at it. When you're dealing with but before you can do any of that, which is again what I had to learn and develop in this body of work, because it was another missing thing in the personal development world. Before you can do any of that, you've got to self-partner. Self-focus, self-partner, self-sourcing. This is some of the things I teach you in the Sovereign. We go deeper there, and I've got to do it there because I've got to support you there. I can't, at the moment, I need to support people through that work. I can't do it unsupported. It wouldn't feel right to me. So, right? Self-partnered and self-focused. You know how you feel. Stop talking yourself out of your feelings. That's one of the biggest problems that we've got here. We're not authentic, and we're talking ourselves out, and we're intellectualizing, and we're thinking there's something wrong with us rather than what is going on with us. Relationship with self will save your life. So when you're with someone and it feels icky, it feels wrong, trust it. Trust it. Your body knows, your intuition knows, your energy knows. You don't have to worry about why. In fact, the quicker you get the F out of there, the better. And later, you might look at, well, to be honest, your body's never wrong. I would say to you, you could look at, sometimes a trauma response will trigger you to make an extreme response, right? You might do a fight, flight, freeze or fawn response to the extreme. But generally, I can't honestly say that there's ever a time when your general feeling won't be right if you're in your body. Fear's extreme. Sometimes we reject our good, but we know inside, like, you know, if you go for personal development and growth, sometimes we get scared when we've got to do something that's our next right step, but we know inside it's right for us. There's always that kind of thing with transformation where you can feel a bit nervous, but inside you're pulled in a grounded way, not in a addictive way. Addictions are the things that pull you in, give you a tiny bit of relief, and you feel really bad afterwards, like in abuse cycles. If you can just get into your body, my loves, if you can just trust yourself, rather than try and talk yourself out of it and intellectualize it. This is why I'm getting cross about some of the things in the industry, because they're asking you to talk yourself out and spinning around in your mental brain, your mental body, when actually your intelligence in this and your armor, defenses and weaponry against this happening to you is in your body and energetic and intuitive fields. That's enough. When someone is giving you that fixed stare, means they're data analyzing you and literally now taking information that they can use against you. You don't have to know anything more than this feels off. Now stop trying to fix them. Again, a lot of what's going on in psychotherapy, I think, is you're trying to detective them and fix them. Your only concern is you. If you can get more into you, right, that fell off. Let it be enough. You come into an environment where you feel good, you know it. Let it be enough. The reason you haven't got good people, there's a lot of layers to this, and there is a lot about narcissists do attack light workers. There's a lot going on spiritually. It's not just about your childhood wounds. Many people have childhood wounds and they're not in abusive cycles. But another layer to that is we're not trusting ourselves quick enough. And then we're not used to feeling good around people, so it gets normalized to feel off. You know when someone makes you feel good. You know when someone makes you feel seen. And if you haven't got them around you, then you've got to start with yourself and seeing yourself. And this feels off. I don't have to ask any questions right now. I don't have to intellectualize. It feels off. I'm going to trust myself. Out I go. If you could do that more and quicker, right, you will create a different life much quicker. It's this intellectualization of things that are emotional and energetic that is in the way. I bring you into energetics and emotions differently, and now you're set free. And trust, before you even get to fix yourself, have a relationship with yourself. You feel off around that person, trust it, because your energy body knows. Yeah? You didn't feel good in that conversation. Stop trying to have to then phone the person who keeps making you feel off and say, look, I just feel off around you, and asking the person that's causing the problem to try and fix it. That's not it. You're supposed to come into yourself and go, that's not for me. Like if I went to a buffet and I personally don't like sausages and bacon. Yeah, I'm not trying to fix sausages and bacon, and I'm not doing anything with them apart from not touching them. I will go and eat the scrambled eggs. Yeah, I'm not going to spend ages wondering why I don't like it when I know it's not good for me and it makes me want to puke. Yeah, quite simple. Now, of course, I'm here to give you intelligence and information about the spiritual truth. I love the videos where I'm telling you about narcissism and what it really means. Of course, we need that. But I'm talking about in your day-to-day life, right? Because it is important. So many of us get trapped for so long. This is not something you can just play with lightly. We think we can handle it. We think we can take it, blah, blah, blah. But actually, it sucks you in very fast. It is like a black hole, and it does have a hard suck. You don't see it coming a lot of the time. So what I'm asking you to do is get much more sensitive to start with. And of course, I'm going to give you information. But my biggest message is to be quicker at seeing this, quicker at spotting it, have a strong energy field, which just means that you're resilient. It means that you're more aware and sensitive anyway. So you don't, you're very quick on picking up things so that you can just get rid of them. You haven't got to do tons of protection rituals and stuff like that if you can increase your awareness, which I'll teach you how to do. So please comment, because I really do appreciate your comments. I do filter it into the information. I am going to give you the stuff that's going to hit you the hardest, wake you up the fastest, and help you change your life the most. That's my job. That's my job. I'm a geek. I went through so much to try and find answers, and I couldn't. So I had to, and I did get them, but I had to develop them, and I'm giving them to you. And I promise you, I've now worked with many, many people. My stuff works. It works fast, and it gets to the right root cause with the right tool. Yeah, because I wasn't the person that wanted to spend the rest of my life learning about narcissists, although I know an awful lot. I was the person that my biggest thing was to change my life radically. My biggest thing was to have a life that was nothing like what it had been like in that cycle. It was terrible there, and that's not why I'm on the planet, and I know it's not why you are if you're here, right? And of course we can talk about why it happens and stuff, but my priority is you. My priority is you living in what you came to experience on the planet, which this imbalance is actually distorting and taking from you. So as long as I know that you're on your way to creating the beautiful life and connected, loving, joyful, free life that you deserve, where you get to be authentically expressed and as God intended for you on the planet, I'm happy also we can look at why these things happen and all the other stuff, but you are the priority. And I need you to know that when you're obsessed with a narcissist, they're the priority. Your whole life gets taken up, your whole energy gets taken up. You're obsessed because you've been programmed to be about them. I want you to become self-focused, self-partnered, self-sourcing, right? Self-expressed and actualized. I love you. Please comment, and I'll speak to you soon.